right, so another section on page 7 is talking about teacher supply and demand. This should really interest you because I have some good news for you. First thing I want you to know about is many factors influence the number of teachers a school district needs and can afford each year. Number one, probably the school budget. If the county commission doesn't pass the school budget, then there's not the new teachers hired that the superintendent wanted, and that has happened in the past and will continue to happen in the future. Number two, the number of students in school. If the student number's not there, there's not a position for you. A lot of times at kindergarten roundup, there'll be a projected number of people who come to that, and then you can always count on 15 to 20 more kids who did not come to the roundup because they didn't know, or maybe the parents just didn't have a way, whatever. So that dictates right off the bat, okay, do we need another person in place, or is someone going to have to go? So the number of students in the school also dictates how many teachers. The ratio of teachers to students in the classrooms. I've worked for principals who it was Katie bar the door. The state has a limit set of how many can be in a classroom, and then they give you like 5% over that amount. And I've worked for principals that have done the full amount plus the extra 5%. Then I've worked for principals who have kept especially K3 numbers very low. But 4th on up, Katie bar the door. As many as they can get in there, they'll put in there. Stop the video. Tell me why you think that is. Why would this particular principal want to keep the numbers low in K3, but then fill it up in 4th and 5th? What do you think the reasoning behind that? Stop it and text me real quick. I'll be waiting. All right, then we have the immigration patterns and immigration from one school district to another. You cannot help that. Some students will come in August. They'll start the school year. They will leave about October to head to Florida to do working crops there. And then they'll come back in springtime, usually around March, and be back at your school again. So, we have to, the school system has to make sure they're keeping track of and allowing for those students to come in and come out. The supply of teachers depends on the numbers of new teachers licensed, teachers who retired or left, and returning teachers. So if you've already got people qualified in the building, there was nobody retiring, and 2 teachers were on maternity leave and they came back, okay, the principal may not need anybody else. So there's so many factors, and the thing is, I want you to remember when you're looking for a job, just because you apply and you don't get the job, let's say by June 1st, I wouldn't panic. July, I wouldn't panic. Both of my public school teaching jobs, I was hired the week before classes actually started. There's always hope. It's a last minute move. It's a last minute retirement. So don't give up. Be persistent in continuing through with that principle. Inner city and rural schools often do not have adequate numbers of qualified and licensed teachers, in part because of the low salaries. There isn't a set salary in the state of Tennessee that every teacher makes the same. It depends on the demographics, and a lot of the smaller schools in the rural areas, the pay will be less. Even in Hamlin County, take Hamlin County, Jefferson County, Granger County, all of the beginning teacher salaries are about the same. There'll be a couple $1,000s one way or the other, but it's not going to move much. School districts are more likely to retain new teachers if they have effective induction programs. So you need to make sure that you are being effective in the classroom. You're going to an accredited school. You've met all the qualifications necessary, because the school district's going to keep you. If you've got all those things going on, you're not causing any problems. The students are learning. They're showing gains on their national test. You're going to be a keeper, okay? So that's off of chapter 1, page 7 and 8, if you want to refer back to that.